What is cottage food law in California? And can I make food from home and sell it in California? So I have actually done a handful of videos about cottage food laws in California, but this video specifically, I'm gonna run down the entire list I have here on my email with somebody I've got a connection with in California that sent me the entire list of what you can make. So you actually understand what you can, and then we'll talk about a little bit of what you can't make. So we're gonna dive into that right now. All right, guys, so welcome back to Marketing Food Online. I'm actually here at my desk. I've got my laptop open down here just below. There it is. I'm actually going to run over a really quick email that I got from a friend of mine who is in California, who I have a connection with, who actually sent me a great list of what you can make out of your cottage food business. And that's basically from home. There was a lot of confusion as to what you can and can't make. And I get a lot of emails and a lot of comments on our videos that we already did about California's cottage food laws and some of the requirements and what you can and can't make and all that good stuff. So I've got the list open here, and little by little, as I go through this list, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about how you can actually expand on this list, believe it or not, and then make it even more so easy and feasible for you to use. So number one, let's get right into, the first thing is baked goods. Now these are gonna be without any creams, custards, or meat fillings. So you can have any type of custard or meat filling. If you have like an empanada, for instance, or you have a baked good that's stuffed with meat, you can't do that from home. Reason being is that those are time and temperature sensitive items. That means that they have to be kept at a certain temperature, or they have to be consumed in a certain time frame. Otherwise, they're going to be considered potentially hazardous. And those are the items that you cannot make. So those would be bagels, baklava, biscuits, brownies, breads, buns, say that 5 times, cakes, churros, coconut macarons, cookies, crackers, cupcakes, donuts. You can actually make the donuts, by the way, either fried or baked. That's something you can do as well. Empanadas, yes, but fruit only. So if you've got some type of fruit-filled empanada version that's not cheese-filled or meat-filled, you're definitely good on thumbs up on that one, okay? So next one is flatbreads, fruit nut or seed bars, macaroons, like I said before, with approved buttercream, it says. So that means that if you have a buttercream recipe, it has to get approved. Muffins, pastries, pies. Pies can only be fruit filling as well. Pizzelles, quick breads, tamales. Tamales can only be fruit filled as well. So unfortunately, if you have another version of that, you're not going to be able to do that from home. Tarts, tortillas, and torts. That's a mouthful as well. Waffles, you can either fry them or bake the waffles, or waffle cones for ice creams. All right, so next up, number 2. Confections and candies. So what can you make at home in California? They do allow brittles, candied apples, candied popcorn, which would be like caramel balls, chocolate balls, popcorn balls, those types of things. The round balls, you can do that. Caramels, cotton candies, chocolate covered non-perishable. That would be like nuts, candies, dried fruits, even potato chips or a combination of those. Keep that in mind as well. Freeze-dried candies. So yes, I've actually had multiple emails asking me about freeze-dried in general. Freeze-dried candies are allowed. Fudge is allowed. Ground chocolate, hard candies, marshmallow bars, marshmallows, popcorn balls, salted caramels, spiced sugar, whatever that is, I've never heard of that, and toffee. Now, what I mentioned before about expanding on these, now this is a pretty intense list. I'm actually got a few more things to go through, but here's the thing. The great thing about all of these items, if it happens to be marshmallows, brittles, breads, brownies, there are so many variations that you can steer off from those specific things. For instance, brownies. There's probably literally a limitless different types of brownies that you can make. Different flavors, different chocolate chips, you can put them, different nuts you can put in there. Flavor profiles can change. Consistencies, fudgy, brown, thick, cake-like, you can do all kinds. So when you talk about donuts, cupcakes, crackers, and churros, there is a variety of different ways that you can make those. So like I showed you in the thumbnail, you saw that it said 90. I'm literally going to go over the 90 items through this list. But from that, you can expand off and make even way more than that. So don't limit yourself. If you hear like, there's 2 or 3 things that are interesting to you, you could go with 20 or 30 variations of it, or even 100 varieties of it. So keep that in mind too. Number 3, extracts containing at least 70 proof or 35% food grade human consumption ethanol, alcohol for like extracts. So you could do apple, apricot, blueberry, blackberry, cherry, chocolate flavored, clove, grapefruit, lemon, lime, orange. These are extracts that you can actually make from home, which is very unique because in California this is allowed, but I can tell you in a multitude of other states this is not something that you can do. So that's a pretty decent amount of items. Strawberry, vanilla, pineapple, pomegranate as well. So the number 4 is dried, dehydrated, or freeze-dried food. So examples of would be baking mixes, bean soup mixes, cereals, coffee. Wow, coffee. So roasted or even freeze-dried coffee as well. Fruits, fruit powders, or fruit roll-ups, grain mixes, granolas, ground chocolate again, herbs, and herb butters. Well, that's interesting. Hot chocolate mix, paste, pasta, popcorn, potato chips, seasoning salts, spice mixers, rubs. You could do tea. You could do trail mixes as well. Vegetables, dry vegetable chips, vegetable soup mixes. So those two are also something that you could do as well. So next up, frostings, icings, fondants, or gum paste that do not contain eggs, cream, or cream cheese. So example would be buttercream made with butter, chocolate frosting with commercially manufactured balsamic vinegar, fondants, flat icings, gum paste, sugar glazes, vegan gum paste, or frosting and icings made with meringue powder. That's also allowed as well. So next one, we've got honey and sorghum syrups. Only pure, no additional ingredients are allowed. So if you have a bee farm, you have a honey farm, and you're doing honey, you can do that through the Cottage Food Law in California because it is on their list. Next up, number 7, fruit butters, jams, or jellies that comply with Part 150 of Title 121 of the Code of the Federal Regulations. Okay, so this fruit butters, yes, only those fruits listed in the CFR are allowed. That'll have a link down below this video. I'll have some other additional resources to our website. Check out our blog for more information about that as well. So number 8, nuts, nut mixes, and nut butters. That again opens up the door to literally hundreds of variations of that type of a product. If you're looking to create nut butters or anything dealing with nuts. Nuts that are mixed, you can roast them, season them a variety of ways and sell them. That's a ton of different ways. Powdered drink mixes made from manufactured ingredients. So drink mixes cannot be labeled with protein because of the amount cannot be determined. But powdered drink mixes, if you're into making that in California, they're allowed to do that as well. Lastly, vinegars and mustard. So mustards with plain without any type of eggs incorporated. You can create mustards vinegars, fruit infused vinegars, only high acid fruits such as apples, blueberries, cherries, and there's a whole list here, raspberries and strawberries. So as of, actually this was updated on the 23rd of June of this year. So that is a good update for California, a great list of 90 different things that you can make. And from that, like I said, you can veer off and you can create variations of different flavors as long as it falls in line with this list. So if you're looking to start a cottage food business out of your home in California, you guys have a huge list. This is one of the biggest lists in the country, if not the biggest, a variety of items that you can make. So if you have any questions about your state's cottage food laws, let us know down below. If this list was helpful, as I said before, check down below. We have a blog with the entire list. You can actually print it out if you want to as well. That link is down below. So I'll see you guys on our next video.